works of art. The only problem is Mrs. Spring. Since Miss Delia covered her in green paint, something seems to have snapped in her brain.
You are all in detention today, tomorrow, and the day after.
Why, Mrs. Spring?
Why? Why? Because I say so, that's why. And for answering back, Ruth Mackenzie, you are all in detention for the whole of next week, too. Do I make myself clear?
Perfectly clear, Mrs. Spring.
Good.
See what I mean?
Mrs. Springett, I wonder if you could help me.
Help you? Help you? You are beyond help, Mr. Lear. You are fallen so far into the realms of madness and senility that not even the hands of Dolores Springett could pull you back.
Why, say, do you really think so?
I know so.
I think she's a little upset.
A problem, sir?
Joe, Michaela, yes, I do have a problem. I was going to ask dear Mrs. Springett, but she seems a little...
She is, sir.
Oh, well, we must humour the dear lady until she returns to her senses.
Oh, good idea, sir. You said you had a problem.
Did I, Joe? Oh, yes, so I did. Yes, I remember now. It's about my art, Joe.
Oh, you finished more pictures?
Oh, yes, yes. But I feel the need to spread my wings a little, to expand beyond the canvas and onto the floor, so to speak.
What do you mean, sir?
I mean sculpture, Michaela.
What? You mean making statues and things out of stone?
Oh, no, not really, my dear. I'm thinking more about rubbish.
Now, let's get this straight, sir. You want to make rubbish?
No, no, I want to use rubbish to make sculpture. I've seen it in the galleries. You stick together old bicycles and toilet seats and bits of pipe, and you give it a name, and then it's art.
Modern sculpture. There may be a market for that. What do you think? I think if it makes Mr. Lear happy, you should have a go. OK then, sir. The management will provide a load of rubbish just for you.
Thank you, thank you. I shall tidy my room up in happy anticipation.
Hello, Smith Scrapyard. Joe Formaggio. No, I don't want to sell scrap. I want to buy it.
It isn't fair, it isn't fair, it isn't fair.
What is it, Mrs. Springett?
What are you doing there, Crab?
Just bringing back your chair, Mrs. Springett. There, you'll have no more problems with that.
Everyone's against me.
Oh.
And that silly old fool still prevents me from achieving my life's ambition.
Which silly old fool would that be?
Mr. Lear, of course. Why doesn't he go? Why don't they pension him off?
And then I could be a teacher.
No, then I could be head teacher, you idiot.
Oh, I see. Well, in my last position, if we wanted someone to lose their privileges, we sort of stitch them up.
Stitch him up? What on earth are you talking about?
I'm talking about a nod here and a wink there, making someone look a right villain and ensuring the appropriate people know about it. That is stitching up.
I see. How novel. Thank you, Mr. Crab.
A pleasure, Mrs. Springett. Just remember who gave you the idea when you come to appoint your deputy head. If you catch my drift.
If I do. Idiot! Can't you do anything properly?
It's the real Mrs. Springett.
Get out!
But they don't make it like they used to.
Get out!
Put another one on for you.
Oh. Evening News. I wish to speak to the editor. Yes, it is important. It's a story for your front page.
This is serious. Scandal at Boot Street School. As sources revealed that Mr. Lear, the head of Boot Street School, has done no teaching, no administration, in fact no work at all for the past 10 years.
This is worse. Newly head teacher at local school. Yorb says Boot Lear out of Boot Street.
This is terrible. We're likely to get newspaper snoopers coming and poking their noses into our business.
And Mr. Lear might get sacked.
I like Mr. Lear. He's a nice man, a very nice man, a very,
Yes,
very
we
nice...
all like Mr. Lear, Egbert. That's why we're trying to sort this out.
So none of the papers say who told them all this stuff.
It doesn't matter now, though, does it? I mean, the damage has been done. Yeah, but we still need to know. You might at least be able to stop any more damage being done.
Right. Grandpa and Linda, draw up a list of suspects, anyone who might have a grudge against Mr. Lear or us. Joe and Michaela, go and see if there have been any letters or telephone calls about this. The rest of you, keep an eye out for reporters and let me know if there have been any strangers about.
Hello, Mr. Lear.
Sir!
Sir!
Mr. Lear!
Mr. Lear!
Ah, you, Michaela. Nice of you to pop in. You can see I'm just throwing myself into my sculpture.
Yes, very good, sir.
I think it's time for a break. Banana, perhaps?
No thanks, sir.
Oh, sir, we were just wondering if there'd been any phone calls.
No, I don't think so, Joe. Oh, wait a minute. There was one.
Who from?
It was from a Mr. Potts or something at the education office. He said that a full investigation would start this afternoon.
So what did you say?
Well, not much. I didn't know what he was talking about. But it sounded very exciting. To have an investigation at our own dear school would be great fun.
This afternoon. That doesn't give us much time.
Do you read the newspapers, Mr. Lear?
Oh, no, my dear. I only read Shakespeare and the back of the cereal packets to see if there's a little model inside.
But, sir, don't worry. And if you see anyone snooping around, just smile and let us know.
Better still, I shall put on my Thelma Wedge outfit and make them a cup of tea. Detective work is thirsty work. Ah, well, let's get on.
Pain and punishment, discipline.
Excuse me.
Hey! What do you think you're doing?
Sidney Lush, Daily Grind. What I called? Caretaker, are you?
I might be. And there again. I might not.
So where's the old codger?
Which old codger?
Lear, the one who's 3 cards short of a trump. I'd like to get a few shots of him.
There'll be no shooting here in my school.
Oh, who are you?
Sidney Lush, a Daily Grind.
Oh, a gentleman of the press.
And you are?
I am Mrs. Spring.
Oh.
Anything you need to know, just ask me. There isn't a nook or cranny in this establishment with which I am not intimately acquainted.
Really?
We're just going to have tea in the staff room. Follow me. Cramp tea.
Grandpa and Linda, any luck with that list of suspects?
Yeah, it had to be an inside job. So we asked the computer to provide a shortlist of anyone who might want Mr. Lear out. You know, someone envious, jealous, mean-spirited and rotten.
And how many on the short list?
Just the one. Yes, sir.
Oh, that's not much of a surprise, is it?
Good to have it confirmed, though. We better keep any visitors away from Springett so she can't do any more damage.
Too late.
Why, what's happened?
She's got some greasy-looking newspaper bloke with her in the staff room. He's from the Daily Grind.
Oh, no, not that rag.
Michaela, hang around the staff room and see what you can find out. Joe, you better go and keep an eye on Mr. Lear so that when this inspector arrives, he doesn't have a chance to find out just how doolally Mr. Lear is.
That might be a bit difficult. Mr. Lear's determined to introduce him to Thelma Wedge.
I always admired Mr. Lear. A wonderful man. Razor-sharp intellect.
But now he's lost his marbles, eh? Gone cuckoo.
Some might say that. Some might think that, but be constrained by loyalty not to say it. If you understand me, Sidney.
Oh, I do, Mrs. Springett, I do. So when exactly did his brain fall off the trolley?
Some might say he'd been that way for years. Dear Mr. Lear, forgive me the emotion. It's been such a strain.
Of course. You're very brave. You were saying?
Oh, yes. Some might say his deputy had carried the burden of responsibility for far too long.
And that's you, is it?
Some might say so, yes.
So when he gets dragged off to the funny farm, you become head teacher?
Some might think I was the natural choice. Some might even go so far as to say I was the only choice. But that's not for me to say. Modesty prevails.
Oh, it does you credit, Mrs. Springett. Loyalty is a rare virtue these days.
I quite agree. You understand me so well.
Yes, I think I do. So between you, me and the gatepost, how about if you spill the beans so I get a good story, and I make you out to be a heroine so you become head teacher? Is it a deal?
As some might say, done.
Sir, Mr. Potts is here.
Oh, the detective, Joe. Well, show him in.
Right, but remember what I said. Don't say too much and try and get him out as quickly as possible.
I'll try, Joe.
Yes, can I help you?
Looking for Mr. Lear's office.
Just here, but perhaps I could show you around the school first and you can see some of the amazing projects Mr. Lear set up for us.
No time for that at the moment. Got to see the man himself. Get things straight from the horse's mouth. No shilly-shallying, time and tide, you know. Excuse me. Ah, madam. I was hoping to meet Mr. Lear. You are...
Indeed I am, sir, and you are too, no doubt.
Beg your pardon.
Why, what have you done?
Madam, I am a busy man. I run like an alarm clock. When I say I wish to see Mr. Lear, I mean I wish to see Mr. Lear.
Oh, so masterful. That sovereign brow, those imperious shoulders. I can see you're a man who knows what's what.
Indeed, madam. Perhaps when I finish my business here, you and I might have a spot of tea together. What did you say your name was?
Mrs. Wedge. But you may call me Thelma.
Thelma. One shot an elephant called Thelma in Wallabonga. 54 it was. Very romantic name, Thelma, if you follow my drift.
Oh, Mr. Potts, so forward, you wicked boy, you. I'm sure Mr. Lear will be most impressed with you.
Just between ourselves, Thelma. We can't have all this nonsense in the newspapers. Gives education a bad name. So tell me, is Lear off his rocker or not?
Between ourselves, he is as sane as I am.
Mr. Potts, our teacher was wondering if you'd like to look round the school now.
Very well. See you later, Thelma.
Joe, did I do well? Brilliantly. Happy for me, having a teacher, and teacher is a joy for
Sorry to the most valuable. Rest the hippopotamus on that. You sound in a good mood today, Mrs. Pinkett.
I most certainly am. The blissful anticipation of seeing Mr. Lear thrown on the scrap heap where he belongs, and myself elevated to my proper position, in charge at last. My moment of glory has come. I tell you, Crab, there's going to be some changes around here.
What sort of changes would they be, Mrs. Pinkett?
Significant changes. Children will know their place and not answer back.
Oh, sounds marvellous, Mrs. Pinkett. We could even run to a proper pain and punishment room. And I'll be there by your side. Your deputy yet.
I think not.
Oh, but Mrs. Pinkett, you said...
Nothing. You assumed, but I said nothing. In fact, I shall be looking at all the staffing around here, and unless I see a distinct improvement in the general tidiness of my school, you may well be out of a job. But me no buts.
How to?
Ah, Sydney. Run along, Crab.
But Mrs.
I believe you have work to do.
Morning. I just thought you'd like to see this. It'll be on the streets tomorrow, special edition. A real hatchet job. One of my best.
Lucy Lear, the so-called head teacher of Brook Street School, will shortly be thrown out. Good, good. Following a special... we understand that following the dismissal, Dolores Springett will assume the role of head teacher, and not before time, we say. Excellent, Sydney.
You have a proper read-through and telephone me if you wish to add anything. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Dolores.
And you, Sydney. Come, I'll show you out. Thank you.
Mr. Lear said that it wasn't fair that the education office should have to pay for decorating and repairs. But he gets us to do it all, and we learn useful skills on the way.
This is very impressive. It'll save us all a pretty penny at County Hall. I never did understand why people expect local government to pay for education. Makes children namby-pamby and soft. In fact, they should all go out to work. I'm not even sure we need schools these days.
Well, that's exactly what Mr. Lear thinks. He says we should all learn to stand on our own 2 feet and not expect the authorities to provide for us.
Does he now? Wise man, you're Mr. Lear.
If the newspaper is printed tomorrow, it's bound to influence people, however much we manage to con old Pop.
We've got to stop it. But how?
Sabotage the printing works? What, by tomorrow? Bribe them? With what?
Blackmail them then.
But we've got nothing on them.
Look, the only one that could really stop it is Springett. And she's not about to do that.
Unless we persuade her.
How?
We've got to play her at her own game. Like bad publicity with worse publicity.
But we're not a newspaper.
But we can be. We've got the recycling plant. We use it to print comics, don't we?
We print our own newspaper.
Exactly. Or at least good enough copies so that she thinks it's a real newspaper.
But what would we say about her?
Corrupt, a tyrant, that sort of thing.
Okay. You and Linda get going on it, Rampart.
Right. Have you got any photos of them we can use?
Yeah, there's some in the store cupboard. Choose a really bad one.
Shouldn't be too difficult.
Mr. Lear started this. He says that the army is good for everybody, so we all do training every week. And Mr. Lear calls us the Boot Street Cadets.
By Jove, this is first rate. If only more schools were run like the army, this country would soon be on its feet again.
Mr. Prince would like to extend his warmest welcome to you, sir.
And has given us the honour of presenting this to you, sir.
Makes you an honorary member of the Boot Street Cadets, sir.
Thank you. Most honoured. Most impressive. Now I really must see Mr. Lear himself.
Certainly, sir.
Perfect.
This should put the wind up, Springett.
Yeah.
How many should we print?
50.
Hello?
Hello, Ruth? Yeah, in about a minute's time, phone Mr. Lear's office and pretend to be Mr. Lear. Yeah, I know. Be tough.
Hello again. Is Lear here?
Yes, of course I am.
I thought he was still out, Mrs. Wedge.
But Joe, Oh, but of course. I'm so sorry. Ever the busy bee.
Well, I'm very impressed with his school, but,
Just one moment, Lieutenant. Hello? It's Mr. Lear. How curious. He wants to speak to Mr. Potts.
Lear? Where the blazes are you, man?
Potts? Good man. Sorry I can't be there, old chap. Governor's meeting. I'm telling them if I want to run Boot Street along military lines, then I shall. Why, they want me out, of course. Bunch of wilting lilies. Softies.
Absolutely. You stick to your guns. Look here. I've seen enough to know that you run this school like a good 'un. I'll take care of all this nonsense and perhaps see you for a round of golf sometime. Hmm? Good man. Oh, and Lear. Pretty little thing you've got as a secretary here, eh, what? Well, that's a job well done. Sack Lear indeed. The man's a lion. Well, I'll be off then. But I'll be back. Thelma, you little saucepot, you.
So far, so good. We've conned old Potty Face, now for Springett. Ramper and Linda, you've done an excellent job here. Dolores Springett, deputy head at Boot Street School, is a disgrace and a tyrant. A source at the school revealed how she uses pupils' dinner money for gambling, how she took school funds to pay for her facelift, and how she steals children's sweets to give to her Rottweiler. This must stop. Springett must go. What we have to do now is make sure she sees this. Then we can start negotiations.
is this? Tyrant, disgrace, Rottweiler. What on earth are they talking about? This is outrageous. I shall sue.
A scandal, isn't it, Mrs. Springett? The depth some of these newspapers sink to.
And the way they ruin people's lives and careers. The gutter press. Terrible.
Where did you get these?
They're not published till tomorrow, but Mr. Jenkins got us advance copies for our media project. You can imagine how shocked we all were.
But they mustn't publish these lies.
Exactly what we thought, miss. So we phoned them up. But they said that they knew the Daily Grind was going to publish more stuff on Mr. Lear, so they'd have to compete.
You know how it is. Dig around for dirt and you can't stop finding it.
But I shall be ruined.
Yes. Shame. Actually, they did say there was one way of stopping it being published.
Yes? Yes? What was it?
What was it now? No, I can't remember. Michaela, can you remember?
Something about... No, I can't remember either. Can you remember, Jo? Wasn't it? No, I can't remember either.
But you must.
Sorry.
Please.
Well, I think they said that if you telephoned the Daily Grind and retracted everything you said about Mr. Lear, then they dropped the story about you.
But I... Very well. Yes, that is what I said. But I was mistaken. Mr. Lear is a magnificent teacher. So you won't publish? Good. What? No, I do not want a lifetime subscription to your newspaper. Oh, it's not fair.
I just want to congratulate everyone, and you, Mr. Lear. We're all very glad you're staying. Boot Street just wouldn't be the same without you.
Thank you all. And to show my appreciation, when I have finished my sculpture, I shall present it to the school.